Hello and welcome back to Sayanti Fine Arts. Today we are doing the second part of this painting tutorial. The last tutorial was dedicated to doing the bokeh background, and today I'm going to demonstrate how I painted this monochromatic bird with oil paints. Now you have seen that for the background I chose to work with acrylic paints to make the process a little faster, but for the bird I love to blend and get paint feathers in oils, so I couldn't resist working with oil paints. So the subject matter has done with oil paints, so I had to finish off the painting with oils as well, but it is the same techniques apply completely the similar way for acrylics as well, so you can choose your particular medium. For sake of transparency, once again, this reference photo of the subject or the bird is from Lisa Clough from Lisa Fine Art, and she allowed me to use this reference photo. This is not free for all to use. This is for her subscribers. She had done the same same drawing in graphite, and I will link that in the video description. If you have not already watched her videos, definitely check them out after you finish this video, because she is not only an awesome artist but also a great teacher. So that's about the inspiration of the video. And while I painted the background, after I painted the background, not while, I drew the bird out with all the details on a separate sheet of paper, and then transferred that drawing onto the surface of the canvas. And I have a separate video teaching how to transfer drawings using transfer paper, and I will link that in the video description as well for you to check out. So that's about it for this particular painting, other than the fact that I chose to paint with black and white, first of all because I'm a big fan of monochromes and gray tones, and secondly I think it's a great way for beginners and intermediate painters to learn to paint different values first in monochromes without worrying about colors. This is a great way to learn values in painting. So that's all about this painting tutorial. Let's start painting. And do not forget to give me a thumbs up if you like this video, and do share in the comments what you feel about this video. And if you're not already subscribed, consider subscribing soon. Thank you once again.
I started with blocking off the entire body of the cock with a gray color, which I made using black and white and a slight bit of ultramarine blue. Straight black and white or straight gray, I don't like that so much. I like to tint it with a very tiny amount of blue. So I used ultramarine blue, and I paid very close attention to my reference photo and just kept adding the details and building up the details. And the reason why I chose this to be in grayscale is, first of all, Lisa herself was working in graphite, and I loved the look of the bird done in graphite, the black and white. I'm a big fan of black and white and graphite, and any paint using black and white ink and everything black and white. Anyways, if you have watched my previous videos, you would know I also have done several portraits in black and white. I will put links in the video description for you to check out if you want to. So I wanted to do the bird in black and white, and also I feel that it is much easier to build values in black and white, or rather learn more about how to create values and contrasts before you jump into painting. So if you are a beginner or intermediate student, and if it is a subject matter that you're not very confident about, it is definitely very useful to work in gray, or rather black and white, and learn more in depth about values first before you jump into bigger and more colorful projects. And while I'm talking about why I chose it to be gray, and that the another reason is because I wanted to this painting to be like a bokeh background, and the idea of bokeh background is also from Lisa's video, where she also created bokeh background, but she did it with black and white. So the background was black and white, or rather she did it with graphite, so the background was black and white, and the subject or the cock itself was also done in black and white. But what I thought is, how if I want to make it a little bit different and I wanted a little bit color in the background, but since the subject is in black and white, I did not want overwhelming bright colors that would take all the tension away. So I wanted a blurry background, and I thought bokeh is obviously great for a blurry background, and I wanted something with muted colors in the background. So there will be a lot of colors, but they will also be like pastel shades and very muted ones and very blurry. So that will not take away the tension, but it will give a very bright contrast to the bird itself and render a very, very beautiful finish to the whole painting. And all that I'm doing continuously on this bird painting is building in the details slowly. And about birds, very important thing is to pay a very close attention to your reference photo. And when you're paying attention to your reference photo, you need to understand what is the direction of the feathers. You can change a lot of things when you are glazing layers over layers, but if your initial direction of feathers is wrong, that will show through the layers, and that will not be right, and that will not help you to look realistic. It would look very artificial, very wrong. So pay very close attention to the direction of the fur from the very beginning, and that is the only thing you need to make sure that is right from the beginning to the end. Now you can see that I'm putting in my brighter highlights, and what these brighter highlights do is they build the contrast against the darker values which I have put in the background already. And these sharper lines, sharper highlights is going to give the pop to this whole portrait of this cock. And you can see that I am doing several areas. I am making sure that some of the darks are showing through, because it is the contrast of the dark and light that will make the difference. In the very end of the painting, you will see that on the sides of the body of the cock, I am adding in or pulling in some of the colors from the background, because I don't want this bird to look like it has been stuck on top of this background. I want it to belong to the background, so I kind of wanted to give the feel of the colors of the background reflecting on the body of the bird. So I pulled in some of the background's color on either side and finished it that way, so that the contrast is still there, but it is also looks a part of the background. And that is a little bit hard probably to understand for you, but I guess you can see it, so it probably makes sense to you that way. So I do want the contrast, but I also do not want it to look stuck on front of a different background. I want the bird or the subject to belong to the background, and it should look like one cohesive painting. As you can see, I'm adding some final details to the bird feathers, and it takes a while to create this, and I love doing bird paintings in oil and painting feathers in oil, so I chose oil for the subject, and that is why I had to finish this entire painting with oils. But both the background and the subject can be painted either with oils or acrylics exactly the same way, and you can get the same results. And that brings us to the end of the finished painting. I hope you have checked out the previous background video as well, and thank you for watching. Do not forget to hit the subscribe and like button and share your comments. Thank you.